Hello and welcome back to another edition of Panzer Corps Multiplayer. This time it's the Battle of Bzura. I hope I kind of pronounced this correctly. So this is another game I did with Goose, and let's take a look at the map. This is a very interesting one. You see, let's do it this way. You see, the Polish forces are concentrated here in the northern corner, and they are trying to outflank or box in the German units that start here, and actually they are trying to attack Warsaw here and, well, get flanked from behind. So the very important when you do multiplayer is that you set yourselves a goal. And on this one, I am the German side, Goose is the Polish units. And yeah, I consider this one of the maps where it's highly unlikely that you're going to achieve a total victory or a triumph. So I am right from the start going for normal victory here. So you have to, as Germans, take this, and this location, and you're golden. You need only to hold 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need those 4 victory locations. And for a decisive victory, you need those 2. But, well, it's kind of difficult to do it because, yeah, not many defenses here in the back, but there is Magdalene Fortress that can give you a pounding, and you will have a hard time holding off the Polish forces. And doing both at the same time, defending along the Bzura River and attacking Warsaw, is a bit too much for me. At least that's what I figure. If you want to know how to do it, don't ask me. I have no idea how the Germans could achieve that. I have my hands busy just to hold and not lose. Yeah, and Goose, on the other hand, he won a decisive victory with the Polish forces on turn 4, I think, in the Slytherin tournament. So I'm very curious what he will throw at me here, because I'm very confident that I will be able to hold the German victory locations. But let's see if he manages to surprise me. And another thing we have to note here, Polish are getting 100 prestige per point, so they are in a position to do a battle of attrition here. They have very good units. They have this 7 TP tank. This is a really great one, and the Germans only have 1 tank that can, maybe 2, that can send up to them, but they will chew through your lighter tanks, no problem. And yeah, they have no air force, but they have 2 anti-aircraft cannons, very good cavalry units, and those tank cats, they are absolutely annoying as well. So as Germans, you have, well, several tasks ahead of you. You have to rush to take those river locations before the Polish units can start to reinforce them. That's possible. You need a lucky roll to take out Visegrad. But it's doable, and it's not the end of the world if you don't take it on turn 1. But it's annoying if you can't do it, because then this location can get reinforced, and then it will be a very different and very difficult battle for the Germans. If you manage to block these locations on turn 1, you're good to go, I think. Yeah, so for me, taking out anti-aircraft cannons, absolute priority. Getting rid of the tanks, absolute priority. If I can manage to take out these tank cats, great. They are not especially dangerous, but they are annoying. And yeah, taking out the cavalry as well, because they are expansive units and they provide vision for the Polish units. The Germans, on the other hand, gain 20 prestige per turn, so they are not even able to replenish any losses. We are not talking about buying units here, we are only talking about replenishing damaged units. That's all they can do. And the only prestige they gain is by taking out victory locations. So I think that's enough talking. let's go into it and let's see what we can do here. I'm immediately bombing those cities to get down the entrenchment level so that I can, well, safely attack, destroy them, grabbing it, and, well, that's the first important thing. I immediately stand in the scout just to get the Polish into the dark so that they can't see what I'm moving around here. And nope, high XG7V3, this will be only one game, so it's only me as Germans and Goose as Polish units. So yeah, taking out this location, denying the enemy any intel. That's always sound. And here, very important, I'm staging the attack, but let's take a look down here. I highly advise you as Germans not to overextend yourself, but what I want to do here is block those cities so they can't buy any infantry units. Well, just to give me a little bit of a buffer zone here. Territory, well, initially the Germans are on the attack, but you will be on the defense very quickly once those units start to hit you. And having some buffer territory is always important. I will talk about that soon, how you can employ defensive tactics, but blocking those cities is the first step. Then I'm trying to overwhelm those units. Oh, kind of a lucky blow here. But you don't have to be that lucky to take out this unit. And blocking with the scout, and your scouts are, well, let's try to get rid of that overlay and let's try to pause here. The scouts for the Germans are, well, kind of the most important units here because they provide you vision, well, of course your artillery, and they are very sturdy units. They are, well, I think stronger than your Panzer IIs. They almost match up with your heavy tanks or medium tanks, and they can do scout movement, so attack, retreat, so that you can destroy, for example, units here in the forest and retreat them again. So that's very important. So let's take a look at the situation for the Polish. They obviously will rush forward their units and try to smash the German forces back onto the river. So, moving everything forward. And I'm not sure if you have to rush everything the way Goose has done it here, because his trucks are now very exposed. I've never played the Polish side here, so I'm not sure if this is the best thing to do. So let's pause and take a look at the situation for the Germans here. Managed to block the Polish units. That's great. Now I have to reinforce those positions. Take out those locations, grab the prestige, and then build by artillery, because I don't think, yeah, you start off with, I think, one artillery piece. You saw that in action, that's the mobile artillery. But you have to reinforce those river hexes. And if you take a look at the units that are storming at me, that's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And like I said, if you take damage on units, you can't even replenish them. That's the main issue here. So taking this city just to, well, have a buffer zone and prevent him from swinging here in the back, and moreover denying vision. Then I want to take out the first tank, snipe one of the trucks, but the most important thing is to force this tank into the forest and then finish it off with my cavalry. This will expose my cavalry, but I think that trade-off is very much worth it. So this is already a huge victory, and in this battles of attrition, you have to keep count of prestige. So we know, or I know, that the Polish will have around 100 prestige per turn. So destroying 100 to 200 prestige each turn is necessary to keep them down. So for this round, we already have hit the mark. That's okay. Destroying one tank is always good. Taking out this anti-tank cannon here, well, at least damaging it is good as well, because units in trucks are very expensive, because you have to add the cost of the trucks to the unit. Well, grabbing the locations, just defending here, and well, can't take out the city for the moment, so I'm just blocking it off to prevent any shenanigans. And yeah, putting him completely in the dark. And as Germans, you have those engineers, and the engineers are perfect to take out those trenches, because they ignore the entrenchment level. And well, this is not a necessary target to take, but on the other hand, it's 50 prestige, and the Germans, or 25? I'm so used to playing on Rommel, I think it's 50 and 100 for those. So taking out this is worth 2.5 rounds of prestige. So sending in 2 strong units to take it is a good idea, but I didn't get lucky with the rolls here, and I will battle quite a few units to do it. And yeah, moreover, if you take a look, if you put in an infantry unit here, you have vision to the bottom, so there can't get any sneaky units in here to, well, attack you from the back, and this will cover the vision up here. So putting in a unit here simply blocks it. And moreover, it's about mind games. So Goose at the moment doesn't know what I'm going to do, just defend or push for Warsaw as well. And feigning an attack here is a good idea, because it might force him to build or buy units here that he normally wouldn't want to buy, because he wants to concentrate on the battle around here. So yeah, I highly advise to attack here. And yeah, other than that, nothing much is happening. Let's see. Can't take out this unit, that's a pity. Moving back, and well, let's try to stop again. Yeah, putting this Panzer II here, I just wanted to block off the Polish onslaught a little bit. This cavalry unit is already doomed, but I think trading it for a tank was well worth it. But I hope I won't lose this Panzer II here. So cavalry down. Extreme hit on my fighter bomber here. So two shots. I will stop talking for the moment. Let's watch. Yeah, forcing it in the forest to finish it off. And here goes my Panzer II. And that's a huge blow for the German forces here. So seeing that I have another tank back here, maybe that was a little bit over-eager exposing myself here. But most important thing, extreme damage on my fighter bomber, and it will take me around 4 turns to gain enough prestige just to be able to replenish the losses. So this was an extreme hit, and you saw, if you remember what my Polish anti-aircraft cannons did to Goose in the last map on Poland, exactly, I think, in 3 or 4 shots, 1 damage to the Stuka. This is crazy. But rolls like that happen, and at least it didn't get destroyed. So now I have to hang on with my dear life just to survive this initial blow. Polish forces moving up, and that's extremely annoying. He caught my anti-tank cannon here. I was deliberately moving it quickly forward here. I hope it wouldn't get spotted, because yeah, it's your best weapon against the tank and the tank cat. So getting it in a good position is, well, absolutely necessary for the Germans here. You could play it more defensively, don't cross the river and just block off the enemy on this bridge, but I wanted to force a little bit of pressure on him. So once again, having no luck storming this entrenchment here. This is a painful battle. And now it's about finishing off units. I absolutely have to destroy them. Here again, trying to gain mass attack bonus, switching out units, and destroying a Polish mountain unit. Huge victory for myself. Just trying to go in a defensive position, and here I'm trying to finish off another unit. Concentrating your artillery, extremely important, forcing it onto the river where I can destroy it with my scouts. So mobility for the Germans, you have to value your scouts. So it looks like we will be able to hold out here. Risking out of my cavalry units just to get rid of one of his. Oops. Don't know what happened here. Kind of misclicked. So let's see. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can hold out here in Leszczyska, and well, just trying to hold here, and trying to hold here. He can't see my defending artillery, it's raining, so this is a good turn for me to hold. Rain is always good for the defender, so let's see what he can do. And unfortunately my anti-tank cannon gets caught out. Artillery defense doesn't help. And well, that's not something I like, but let's see. Hopefully at least my cavalry will survive. It's the forest, so it will take massive damage, but at least, no, it's that, but at least it did some damage. So losing those cavalry units is not good for the Germans, because they provide vision, are very flexible units, and yeah. Great roll for my scout. And finishing off another unit here. And that's the power of the scout. It can move in, destroy, and move back out, and doesn't get caught in the, well, rough terrain here. So you absolutely have to keep your scouts alive. And still not able to take out this entrenchment here. But I caught another tank, forcing it on the river and destroying it, and that's absolutely huge. Couldn't finish off this tank cat because my Panzer fails to destroy it, and that's very annoying. If I would have destroyed this one, I think I would have been able to hold this city. But that way I'm going in a full out defensive mode. That's one moment. Take a look. Deploying my strong tanks here just in a defensive position. Guarding with artillery and, well, bringing up an artillery unit just to reinforce the position around here. Buying one of the small guns here. It's enough to hold off any Polish attacks through the forests here, and it's cheaper, so that's extremely important. So I highly advise you invest all the prestige you have in artillery. That's the best thing the Germans can do here. Yeah, getting pounded, but at least we're doing a lot of damage in return. So I'm trying to destroy another unit, trying to destroy a unit here. So for Germany, it's really a race to eliminate enough of the Polish units just to keep them down. Finally taking this Polish hamlet, killing off another Polish unit. So we fulfilled our task for this turn. And let's pause here and take a little time to think here. This is, I think, the anti-tank cannon. Yep, has to be. So I'm not sure if I'm going to hold here. So one option is to just give up this position and retreat across the river. So always consider retreat. That's always an option. You don't need to hold here. It's just to, yeah, distract Goose and keep him from throwing all of his units onto this. This is, I think, the weak point here. And I highly advise you as Polish to keep close watch on the ammunition count, especially on the mobile artillery. It has only 4 shots, so it's an option to just overrun this position. Just throw your units at this position, just take the losses, it doesn't matter, and run it out of ammunition and try to force this Wehrmacht unit out. Then you have stormed this position and have taken losses, but you can reinforce, the Germans can't. And yeah, let's see. Goose is not very aggressive this turn, and that got me a little bit surprised, honestly, because, like I said, aggression is key. Just damaging German units is enough. That's all you have to do. The Germans have 20 prestige per turn. You always have to keep that in mind. That's only 20 prestige. If you do, for example, 6 or 7 damage on an infantry unit that has a truck on it, that's more than they can afford. So, then another very important concept for the Germans here. Concentrate artillery fire. So, I'm trying to take out one of the anti-aircraft cannons here. I've concentrated 3 pieces of artillery, boom, and it's gone. So that's a huge victory for me, because now, obviously, the next target, this tank. Same around here, concentrating on one unit. It wasn't really a lucky blow, but I kind of want to get rid of it. Now that I'm committed, I want to kill it. And it works out. That means that I have to put one of my tanks in the forest because I had to pull the infantry unit. I would have preferred not to do that way, but destroying the cavalry unit, I think it's highly worth it. And the Panzer I actually doesn't do too bad in the forest. Backed up by artillery, it's absolutely fine. And those Polish units will have a hard time attacking it. And you see, I can't really reinforce my units. Finally trying to get rid of the tank cat, but you see, that's an absolutely annoying unit, and well, evacuation order given. Everyone go back and try to survive. And now here comes the Polish attack. But if you take a look, this has already a ton of experience on it. And the scout with 1 star is too much for Polish infantry. They can't deal with it. And here you see, well, those Polish tanks, they are very hard to deal with. So you should always focus on destroying them. But against infantry, especially this Panzer III, he is a solid target. It won't budge. Yeah, guarding my retreat, that worked out. Well, let's stop again. What I was careful of, keeping out of range of this anti-tank unit. So in withdrawing the tank, I didn't want to block the city because then I would have gotten shot down. So now I try to free my units so that they can move out of here. That works. And then this tank is the next obvious target. We will shoot it with artillery. And then hopefully finish it off in the forest, but in the process I have to, well, kind of defend myself and kill more enemy units. And now this should be enough. Dealt with. And like I said, this Panzer III will hold the line, no problem. Now the tank threat is gone, so this front more or less is secure. Yeah, just bolstering my defenses here. And Goose now is running out of options because he doesn't have any strong units left. And I can maybe go on the attack once I've replenished my forces and try to sneak in a triumph. So here we go. Germans on the attack now. But again, these hamlets are a pain. I tried to prepare them with artillery bombardment, but didn't work out as planned, trying to overwhelm them. But since these rolls didn't go my way, the attack is kind of doomed already. Yeah, here I'm just trying to keep him down, deter him from attacking. My goal is to overwhelm those locations. But couldn't quite take out the unit, so this wasn't a great turn for me. caught the unit in the open, perfect for the tank. And now it's time to push the Polish forces back. Well, and not much the Polish units will be able to do about it. But here, very smart move by Goose. Just keep cycling those units so they are blocking me. And here come those annoying tank cats. If only I would have gotten rid at least of one of them. So I really can't push through here. So I'm giving up my attempt to retake this location. It's just a feint attack here anyways. We don't need to push through here. There are no victory locations in this direction. It's just aggressive defense, you could call it that way. Destroy units in order not to get overwhelmed. That's all I want to do here. Decided to take a look at the defenses, but it wasn't worth attacking. Yeah, Polish units are not doing much, trying to take out one of my scouts, but they have a ton of experience now and, well, you see, they're doing fine. And it's rain all the time, so not much I can do on the attack at the moment. But I have not given up yet. I will try to overwhelm them. Yeah, not able to finish off units. Finally trying to kill off one of those tank cats, but again, it's not going my way on the offensive. The defensive worked alright, but the offense doesn't work. Yeah, taking a lot of damage here. And mind you, this is not close terrain or a rough terrain, so this is open. It just gives the entrenchment bonus, but the tanks don't have a penalty going in here. Yeah, I'm taking... Well, if we take a look here, if this Polish mountain unit would be dead, it survived with 1 health last turn, it would maybe be possible to overwhelm them, but like this, it's not looking good. And Modlin, yeah, it's painful. Yeah, and finally I give up on the attack here, I think. But if Goose is using his units around here, I'm fine with that. I'm a little bit worried. That he will be able to overwhelm me somewhere, but at the moment it does look good. Finally tank cat down. So I can go in with my own tank again. But it's just delaying and distraction at the moment. Hi Danny! And looking at that, I could have diverted more of my units for the attack to the east. But honestly, I was thinking the Polish unit, that Poland gets 200 prestige per turn, so I kind of miscalculated the strengths of the Polish forces here. So I thought he would be much stronger than he actually is. Like I said, that's the second time I'm playing this map, so Well, and I forgot to mention another interesting strategy you can use. I think we have missed the great opportunities to show it off. If you're in the defense, employ distance, like here. It's not a good idea to move up and block the unit directly. Well, you would get shot by Modlin, but let's assume Modlin isn't here. If you go here, then this unit can attack, and if it has a good roll, great, move back, send in another one and finish your unit off. If it's a bad roll, it will just withdraw and you can't snipe it. But on the other hand, if you do it like this, keep space and always try to keep space between you and the attacker. What he can do here is move up, attack, and if he has a bad roll, you can destroy this unit on the counter attack. Or if you have a bad roll, maybe you are able to withdraw and cycle out the units. But like I said, if you cycle out, let's assume this unit moved here, attacked, almost destroyed you. If you have another defender, don't put it here, put it here, so it has to move up again. Or here, we tried to keep distance between me and the enemy. I'm trying to control the area by zone of control and forcing Goose to move up and attack so that he can't withdraw after the attack. I hope you understand what I mean. It's very hard to explain without an actual example where we can look at it. But force the enemy to come towards you. That's a very important concept. So even if you are on the defense, it's always important to try to push back the enemy again so that you have this breathing room and have room to maneuver your units. Don't try to hold a location like this one just by digging in and putting an artillery in the back and just waiting it out. That doesn't work. The Polish units will definitely overwhelm you. You don't have infinite ammunition count on your artillery, and those Polish infantry units are quite good and really cheap, so it doesn't matter if the Polish throw away 3 of those infantry units just to trying to drain you. If they can overwhelm you, that's fine. They can replenish, you can't. So always forward defense, but at the same time make him come toward you. So it's a kind of wave, push back, retreat, push back, retreat. Just try to keep elastic defense here, not a static defense. Well, and I think the replay refuses to move, but it worked brilliantly this time. Let's see. 12. We've already seen that. Oh, let's watch it again. Those are short turns anyways. Yeah, like here, forward defense. This unit can take it, so I'm moving it forward. And here, shortening the front line, so I can control any last minute push he will do. Here again, trying to damage units and then retreating and putting distance between me and the attacker. Because it's the last turn for the Polish next time, and well, if there's distance, he can't throw as many units at me. Because if he has one unit already adjacent to it, he can do more attacks, because this hex can use for 2 attacks. I hope that does make sense. Sorry. Yeah, and here comes the last minute push. And it can't do anything because I'm controlling yeah, and here finally the replay axed up, it doesn't move. So let's go to turn 13, and I think that's the final thing we have to do. Yeah, and the Polish units are going last, so I think they can do one final push. So my goal here is to push the enemy back to control the area and not even let them attack my victory locations. Same here, blocking the zone. Blocking the zone here so that no one can sneak through, and then that I'm not even at the risk of getting attacked here. So, final turn for the Polish. No. Still retreating, but now it's the final turn for the Polish. And something seriously messed up here. And see, this is a setup I'm pretty proud of, because I knew he would try to force back this infantry unit. I assumed he would bombard it and then try to force it back, so I set up my artillery that it would guard the retreating unit. So this way I have a perfect defensive array here, and he can't finish off my damaged unit. Yeah, but that's not enough. See, perfect control of the zone. And that's it, German victory. Let's view the battlefield. I hope this was interesting. And yeah, the replay worked fine till the last minute, but sorry about that. But I think most of it was very much viewable. And what I did here is not defend the hexes directly. I built a zone of control forward so he can't move in, and even lucky rolls wouldn't help him because he doesn't have the pushing power. He can, if he's extremely lucky, if he destroys his tank, well, what is he going to do about it? He can't exploit it. Same here. If he forces this tank back, maybe onto the river, well, the only thing he can do, destroy this tank maybe, but he can move in a single unit to attack my Sturm Panzer in here, maybe damage it badly, but he can never take out the victory location. So yeah, that's basically it. So for the Germans, if you manage to control Warsaw, yeah, that's key. So first goal, control, establish control here, then you're pretty much golden. Holding back the Polish forces along the line of the Bzura, yeah, it can be quite tricky and it might be misleading. It looked quite easy here, but try it for yourself, and if the Polish go in disregarding any losses, it can be tense. So I did this map on the Slytherin tournament as well, and I got to the brink of extermination here because I got really swarmed by the Polish units, but I could hold, but it was close. So thanks for watching and have a good party tonight, and looking forward to another year, 2017. We will focus on more multiplayer maps and Soviet Corps, of course. And if I manage to finish Soviet Corps, which I'm very much sure of, I will start into the grand campaign then. So that's it. If you have any questions about multiplayer, drop them in the comments. Goose and I are happy to answer them. And if you want to challenge either of us, just put a line in the comments as well. I have now a little bit more time, so I'm happy to play at least a few of you. And well, with that, yeah, have a great time tonight and see you next year. Bye.